I think you tend to see a lot of burnout in like YouTube. Like a lot of the people I've followed, like Jamie O'Brien, for instance, I followed him for some reason religiously through the pandemic.
Yeah, I remember now that you
and
like, he's such a cool guy. Though.
And then, yeah, he's rad. I saw you in one of his edits. He's like the Pilgrim of surfing. I feel like.
Yeah.
Well, good.
True.
But he was doing 3 a week, and then like you see loads of YouTubers sort of like almost experience burnout or whatever, or it just gets too much and they go down to 2 or fewer, or literally don't upload because I think that level of workload is too much. And then it's not only that, it's workload plus judgment, because you then know whether you're doing well or not in your videos, so you just feel like you're sucking at life. And then if your videos are you, there's no job like that, dude. The videos are you, so it's just like a direct...
Yeah, true, yeah, you're just
it's
completely
like saying,
judged. If like, it's like you're an idiot, like I don't like you anymore, like you're not... Yeah, it's horrible, actually.
It is like that, it's like a robot saying that, yeah. It is.
And also,
I bet you've had those moments as well where you're like doing the YouTube game, and then you do feel like shit. I've had it with this, dude, and we're talking a way smaller scale than what you do. But you put an episode out and it does like dog shit, and you're just like, fuck, like people hate me. Like, what am I doing? Okay, I'm second guessing this whole thing. Is it even worth the time? And then, like you say, you just keep going. I mean, I've been doing the podcast for like 6 years, and then Ollie's obviously been involved for 2. Two and a bit now. But yeah, I've done episodes before, dudes, with really sort of famous people, and they just tank, and you're just like, oh wow, maybe it's me. But then the next one just continues to do better. It's ever such a weird headspace to be in, but you've just got to try and distance yourself from it. And I think over time you learn that, right? Yeah,
and the best thing to do is like, if you have a little look in your comments, you'll see all the people that are like how much they like it, and then think you're like actually helping some of these guys loads of guys message me like I would help them get through like horrible moments in their life or whatever, or just like make their day better or make them want to go riding. So if you just forget about your numbers or whatever, and like just look at what you're doing, like people actually still love it. It's just I know what you mean, it's quite easy to go like, oh no one likes what I'm doing anymore, but actually it's all like weird algorithm stuff, and I think
I think we've had a duty, as creators. I mean, Ollie, you'll be able to attest to this as well, like especially through the lockdown companion, how many messages we were getting from people saying that they were actually struggling. Like, we've never been through a time like that in our lives, have we, where people have lost jobs, they've been forced to stay at home, they've been isolated, sick. So as creators, we had this like opportunity, and also this, I feel like, a duty every week to be like, here's something fun to take your mind off the actual shit that's going on.
Yeah, it did feel like a duty in the pandemic, didn't it? I don't know why. It's silly, really, but it did feel like a duty.
Yeah, but,
I think exactly what you're talking about with like the popularity contest. I feel like when it was just magazines, I had exactly the same thing. When it was just magazines, there's like 3 magazines I was trying to get in, and one week I'd be in like all of them, and I'd have a cover or something.
Yeah.
And then the next month I would have nothing, and I'd only be getting photo bonus at that time. So I'd have nothing, and I'd just be like, fuck, I'm actually done now. I'm not popular anymore, and no one cares about what I'm doing. And I'd have those feelings, and then after a while I realised it's just like waves. You can't just hit home runs. You have to. Yeah. This might sound really stupid but if your job is like it is you, it's your personality, it's your riding. There is like a bit of it that you have to sort of. It doesn't get to 5 o'clock and you just fuck off and sit on the sofa. You're still you're still making money at whatever point in time. And,
true.
And like, there's nothing more like that than YouTube, I feel like.
Yeah, that's actually so true. So even when I do get to sit on the sofa, still moneying.
Moneying. You're still cracking money.
It's true though, it is. It's such a Cracker money. That's brilliant. Yeah, it's true though. It's weird. It's weird having it working in the background for you. It's almost, I mean, it is a business at the end of the day, but that's obviously how you have to look at it. It's a full blown operational business.
Yeah.
So when did it become a thing though, Sam? Like when was that flipping point with the YouTube and it was like, okay, there's like a real tangible living to be made out of this?
I'm probably different than others where I only did it because basically so I was the best at contests and then had my weird moment where then I couldn't really do comp. I felt strange doing comps and never got results again from there, really. Nothing, not really any wins. And then I was like, I want to be the best at something and like help, you know, like give my sponsors a reason to pay me still because I was so worried, because I was literally, imagine you win everything and the next year you don't win anything from then onwards. So I was like,
you know why? Sorry to dig into that a little bit, but why? How come? What happened?
Well, I did like an article actually on Pink Bike about it. It was like I crashed in California and got super knocked out, but like I didn't know anything about, like I was all fitting and stuff. I obviously didn't know about that, but that from the rest of the trip, because that was every year we go to California to train for the comps, and this one I got knocked out, and then once I'd come round from it and like a few days on, like I couldn't really do riding. It was so weird. If I'd done 360s and flips, I didn't really know where I was. It was literally the weirdest thing. And that actually happened for so long. It was only like maybe a year after I read about like the motocross guys, if they get concussion, they don't ride until they've passed all these tests and stuff. So I feel like I probably had a really bad head thing. And then when I went to some of the events later on in that year, because then I didn't have this like probably the confidence of that I'd learnt new stuff and was ready for the events, that like I just mentally couldn't really do like some of the events I went to and then just didn't do. It was so weird. I never experienced that before. And then couldn't do well from then because I missed.
It's almost like CTE, isn't it? Like an actual trauma.
Yeah, but then I missed a year of comps and then it was really hard to keep up. I've done a few here and there and got like maybe top 3, top 5 and stuff. And that was it. So then I was like, okay, I want to make the sponsors happy, so let me make videos. So I did YouTube probably for a year, like pushing it properly, because I've obviously always had the channel. And I didn't even turn the adverts on, because I thought that might annoy people, you know. I just had it that that they would get free watching or whatever, because I didn't care about that stuff. But then when I got more into it, I got like a YouTube contact person, and they were like, you should put the ads on. And then when I did, it really opened the channel up to everyone, because obviously you make them money and then they can show your videos to everyone. And that's when it went
they're
massive,
not going to put them up, are they?
Yeah. So from that point, and I got the 1 million subs in like a few months almost, or like a year, because then everyone could see what stuff I was doing, you know, rather than just the...
At what point do you get a YouTube person? I guess there must be a flipping in around
I don't know
100k or something where it's
don't know when I can't remember exactly, because it was such a fast year. From like 100k to 1 mil was about a year, I think.
Did you enjoy this clip? If so, please like and subscribe. The full episode is available by hitting one of the links on the screen right now, or type The Ride Companion into your favourite podcast app. We've even put links in the show description for you. Cheers!